Thank you for joining us. This is Travel Top 5, and today we're going to talk about top 5 tips, insider tips for going to Disney. And I love doing these top 5 videos, and we did one a while back about top 5 hotels at Disney, and I felt a little bit out of my element there. But doing a top 5 video, I have never felt more unarmed as compared to my counterparts as I have this time. So we're doing the top 5 insider tips of Disney, and you used to work at Disney.
I did, both parts.
And you've been there how many times?
It's just shy of 40.
Okay, so I have some tips here. We'll see how I stack up against these guys. But anyway, so we're doing our top 5. I'm sorry, we got Lesley here, we have Alyssa, and I'm Philip. Lesley, why don't you kick us off with your number 5 tip?
Okay, it seems simple, but it's something a lot of people don't think about. Get a button. So when you first get to Disney, they always ask you, is it your first time? Is it an anniversary? Is it a honeymoon? Is it Monday? I mean, it really doesn't matter. They will give you a button, and usually you get more special treatment. I mean, Disney does it above and beyond no matter what time it has been for you traveling there. But always get a button because characters point it out, cast members, point it out, and it's just really special if you're wearing a button that says first timer, anniversary. Always wear a button for extra special treatment.
Cool. I didn't know that. Here's one that's interesting. Throughout the park at strategic places, you'll see some staff, cast members who's taking photographs. Their job is to take photographs. But if you ask them, they will use your camera and take a picture of you with your camera or your phone, whatever. Now, they're not going to adjust the settings, that kind of stuff, so I haven't already set up, ready to go. But people might think that they wouldn't do that because they're kind of trying to sell their own, but they will. They will absolutely take the photo in the great place for you with your camera. So very kind of Disney to offer that.
Yeah.
What's your number 5?
My number 5 is to utilize the extra magic hours. On given days of the week, a park is either open 1 hour before it's open to what would you call it? Non-hotel.
General
public.
public.
Yeah. And then on some days it's open 2 hours later to only resort guests staying at a Disney hotel. And it's a great way to go on some of those big ticket rides that normally have an hour and a half wait. And sometimes at Magic Kingdom, I've been there and it's completely dead. And it's really magical just being one of the only people there. So do that. It's a great way to do things without the crowd.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
My number 4, a couple of these are specific for a certain group of people. So I kind of feel bad about that. And this one I understand is pricey. This one's expensive, so everyone won't be able to do this. But if you can swing it, my number 4 is to get the VIP tour guide. Now, it is expensive. You're probably talking about a couple of grand for a day. But what this person will do, they will take you around. You're going to get kind of cut in line at the rods. They're going to get you, going to figure out with you what you want to do, and they're going to help you get everything done you want to get done. You can take up to 10 people with one tour guide. So if you got 2 of these families together, you're going to split the cost among the families. It gets slightly more reasonable. I think definitely, I mean, if you can swing it for one day, knock it out. It's going to be a fantastic experience for you. I know it's expensive, but if you can swing it, do it.
They get like preferred seating for the shows and for the parades and everything too. Yeah. So it's really good value. You can swing it.
Value might be the wrong word, but yeah, it's great. It's great. You can do it. Number 4.
For me, number 4 is Disney Springs, formerly known as Downtown Disney. It's a really great way to. You don't need a park admission to access Disney Springs. And they just recently really expanded it. You've got bowling down there. You have Cirque du Soleil. It's my favorite Cirque du Soleil show I've ever seen. It's called La Nuba. They have an AMC dine-in theater. There's just so much to do. So if on that first day you don't want to spend the money on a park ticket, that's a great way to still make some of your day, make something of it, and not have to, pay the park admission and have a lot to do.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
My number 4 is bring a poncho. This sounds so simple. It's not, don't bring an umbrella because nobody wants to carry that around the parks. But a poncho is so easy to fold up and put in your bag, even your pocket if you can get it small enough. But when it is raining at Disney, that is the best time to ride rides. Everybody's indoors, they're shopping, they're eating. But when you have a poncho, you can easily slip it on, continue to wait in line, and you can get through a lot of those lines a lot quicker than if you didn't have one.
Absolutely. I need a class on how, when the rain's over, how you get the poncho back to the side of the. I've
you
never
can
got
toss
to do
it
that. Yeah.
and buy another poncho.
Yeah, maybe have multiple ponchos. I've never been able to get it to pull it back up. Number 3 is Alyssa.
Sure. My number 3 is to utilize the Disney app. I think it's called My Disney Experience.
Love that app.
And it's really wonderful because it's kind of hard to structure out and plan your days at Disney. So that gives you a little more flexibility because you can plan a lot on the app. You can do your fast passes, you can make dining reservations. So if you're not sure what park you're going to that day, just wait. You might not have all the options to choose from, but you can see what dining's available. Just book it right there. Look at the park hours, wait times, everything. So really great. And you can see those pictures Philip was talking about.
Yeah, and I don't, maybe a different app. I know there's several apps, but another one to look at also, if it doesn't have, one of the apps that will give you wait times. I don't know if it's that one or a different one, but boy, that's really helpful.
I think it does it on that one too, yeah.
It gives you a guide of how long you have to wait for a certain ride.
Can I sidetrack really
Absolutely.
quick on that?
Go for it.
Sometimes, this might be another point, but I didn't put it on my list. Sometimes wait times are totally inaccurate.
Yeah.
Just because it says an hour does not mean it's an hour. I mean, it's a little hard to gauge that, but sometimes you walk right on the ride and they're just putting that, I don't know if they're trying to deter people or what, but sometimes it's not always accurate. So use your judgment. If you don't see a line wrapping around the building 3 times, it's probably not 2 hours, and try it.
Yeah.
Cool.
And even still, I mean, to go off yours, the lines, they're so themed at each ride, like they're kind of fun to wait in sometimes. But
I don't know about that.
sometimes. My number 3 is head to the back of the park first. So this is a little, I mean, it's not really a hidden secret, but sometimes when it's your first time at Disney or even third time, you get so distracted right when you walk in the park. There's Mickey over here, there's the castle up here, and it's really easy to just stop and wait and see everything right there. If you head straight to the back of the park, I promise it'll still be there when you come to the front. But most people get so distracted that they forget that there's the rest of the park. So if you go all the way back and start riding those rides, you're going to avoid a lot of the lines than if you were going to start at the front and then work your way back. So that's one of my hidden tips.
Absolutely. Mine is don't try to do everything. Pace yourself. Go slow. Enjoy it. When my daughter was probably 2 years old or so, we were there and we were trying to do everything. And at one point, my wife was pushing over, trying to get to a certain place and be at a certain time. My daughter was just crying, saying, "I want to go home. I want to go home." Slow down. Have fun. Don't try and do too much. Just enjoy what you do. Get to do. Number 2.
My number 2, it's a little off of the app, kind of what Alyssa said, but it's the magic bands. So if you stay on a Disney property, you automatically get those magic bands for free. And if you don't stay on property, you can still purchase the magic bands once you get to the park. So you can just kind of exchange your ticket and just buy the magic band. It is so worth it. It's a wristband, almost like a Fitbit that you wear, but it holds your credit card info, your ticket info, your fast passes, dining reservations, meal plans. I mean, it holds everything so you don't have to bring cash or credit into the park. You literally just walk up to make a purchase and scan your magic band and you're done. You can just pay for it all at the end of your stay. So even if you don't get it complimentary, if you're not staying on site at a Disney property, I think it's totally worth it and you should take full advantage of it.
Okay. My number 2 is kind of a twofer. It's called the Handoff, and it's used 2 different ways. One way, this is for people who are traveling with small children. Let's say there's a ride that you want to go on, but the child shouldn't go on it, like a Space Mountain or something like that. And if you have both parents are there, you can wait in line, and one parent will go on the ride, and the other will stay at the front of the line with the child. When the ride's over, you hand off the child, and Disney's familiar with this, and then they let you hand off, and then you go on the ride, and the other one waits. So that's one way it's used. The way it's used more often than the way that we used it when our kids were small is that if you have a ride that has a significant wait time, you have one parent wait in line with the child. The other parent will be 20, 30, 40 people behind them. Let them ride it, and then when the parent's through, they hand off the child to the other parent if they wanted to do the same ride over and over again. There's some of these rides that the kids want to do over and over again, and you just take turns handing them off until the child just tired of it. And when we went with my daughter, I think it was, we had grandparents with us, so we had like a 3 or 4 change going where she rode. Back then it was a Dumbo ride, and that was her thing. And she rode it over and over until she got tired. We got tired, we left and did something else. But the handoff is a great strategy.
That's funny. Another thing, kind of for families with younger children, is that Disney offers stroller rentals. So you don't need to pack your stroller if you've got your kiddos that you're bringing to Disney, unless you like the comfort of having your own with you and you kind of are familiar with it. But my family always uses strollers that Disney rents. They're very easy to maneuver unless it's crowded. Then, of course, you're dealing with a crowd. But you can either rent the stroller for a day or get one for the duration of your whole stay. I would just recommend bringing a bandana or something that's not valuable to mark that stroller as your own. They do have a nameplate that you put in there and you write your name on it, so you know it's yours. But yeah, do that, and it's a nice way to not have to lug the stroller on the bus when it's crowded. That's miserable, and if you can avoid that, then you should.
Fantastic. Okay, now our number 1 picks. My number 1, a video we'll do in the future is going to be our top 5 rides or events or shows at Disney. So spoiler alert, this one will be on mine. I love Fantasmic over in Disney Hollywood Studios. I enjoy that show a lot. The deal is that when we went to it, we wanted to get good seats and wanted to sit together. So about 2 hours before the show started, I went and saved seats. And I sat there for 2 hours waiting while my wife and daughter went out and did things. Wasn't the best 2 hours of my life, but you do what you got to do. Well, my tip is that you've got some restaurants at Disney Hollywood Studios. You got the Brown Derby, Mama Melrose, and Hollywood and Vine that have packages that you can pay where you get a dinner and access to their VIP seating at Fantasmic. So you get to have the dinner. So instead of me sitting there for 2.5 hours by myself, family could have been having dinner together and then leaving dinner and going straight to the performance in the VIP section. Of course, it's a little bit extra charge than what you would normally pay to eat in those restaurants, but really worth it. So that's my number 1 tip.
Yeah, that's a good one. Similar to that, you know, everyone has access to Fantasmic, everyone has access to the fireworks, but a different way to kind of do it. Most of the parks that have fireworks shows have a dessert package or a dessert buffet that's partnered with the fireworks show, and you have preferred seating. Usually it's right there smack in front of, you know, in Magic Kingdom's instance, right in front of the castle, well, a little to the side. And it is an additional charge to do that, but you have this gorgeous dessert layout, and I have a huge sweet tooth, so I do it every trip. And it's just the best, you know, view and the best seating. You don't have to worry about trying to grab a seat, you know, an hour or whatever before the fireworks show. So really cool, different way to experience it.
I didn't know that. So obviously you got to have reservations for that, just like this one. Okay, that's fascinating. I didn't know you had the dessert thing. That's great.
Mine's kind of a two-parter too, but it's about meeting characters. So a lot of people think to meet the princesses you have to be in Magic Kingdom, or to meet Mickey you have to be Magic Kingdom. But if you're okay with venturing out to Epcot, Animal Kingdom, even Hollywood Studios, you can meet a lot of those characters there. The princesses, for example, because Epcot is a world destination, a lot of times they'll have the princesses in their respective countries, so you can actually meet them a lot easier there than if you're trying to meet them in Magic Kingdom at the castle. And it's a little less stressful because, I mean, it's busy all the time, but not as many people venture out into Epcot as they would Magic Kingdom, so it's a lot easier to meet them there. And the second part to that is do a character dining. If you really want to meet Mickey and Minnie and Goofy, there are so many character dinings where you get lunch or breakfast, maybe even dinner included, and then you get to see all characters at once while you're eating, and then you're done. You don't have to worry about trying to go seek out those characters and get their autographs. You're sitting there enjoying your meal, they come to you, you take pictures, and then they go away. So it's very easy to see everything at once doing it that way.
Fantastic. Well, thank y'all both very much, and thank you for watching, and I hope you got some good tips.